This is the Testing UX PM Research Weekly Sync for March 27th. Juan, thanks for hitting record and sharing this later. I just wanted to cover follow-ups from our last really 2 meetings. I put that into the agenda, but didn't have a chance to read all the way back through the last 2 meeting notes, but I don't think we had any, or I'm not remembering any glaring to-dos that we wanted to report back on this week. The last 2 meetings being our regular sync last Friday, and then earlier this week, we talked through accessibility testing scorecard. So anything that we need to follow up on or vocalize on either of those topics today that I'm forgetting?
I put a couple of things. Let me just finish typing this. Category maturity score. So the job to be done issue. Thanks for, I created the issue. Thanks, James, for putting the jobs to be done. I think they're great. I think that the only thing that it's left to do in that sense is to create the research scenarios. That will be the next step based on what we are trying to accomplish here. And then I'm trying to imagine those research scenarios, and I was talking with Lori about it, with Nadia about it yesterday. Yeah, and I think they are very simple, right? I think we probably don't need any aid or prototype to accomplish these research scenarios. So I think it's just a matter of generating them. I think that the most important step, which is something that I didn't add here, is the recruitment, because basically recruiting for participants, it's not as good as it was before the virus, because I think people are just saying like, no, I'm not interested on this, I'm stressed, whatever is the reason. We got a hit from that, which was expected, I think. So I put a question there. Is like 13.0 still the target for doing this? And if it is, I think we gotta start recruiting, basically, like we should create the recruitment issue today.
Yeah, I think we could still do that in 13.0, or I would want to target that. So we have 4 weeks to do the recruiting.
Yeah, yeah. She just said she's not getting, like, people just aren't responding to screeners and stuff. So if you guys know of anybody that you want to make sure to put through this, that would even be better, and you could do it faster probably if you already knew somebody. So that's always an option.
When does 13.0 start? Sorry, just for context.
I think that's the end of April.
Yeah, so 12.10 will launch April 22nd, and we'll start a couple of days in earnest on the release, or on the 13.0 release before that.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have to tie this to a milestone. It's just we tie everything else. Like, that's kind of our time frame. Our window of time is a milestone.
And it makes sense because this still involves work that, you know, like that gotta be like tied to something, and I think it needs to be tied to a milestone. So, so yeah, that gives us like 4 weeks for recruiting. Do you have someone in mind, James? Someone that we can reach out to for this?
No, but I can start banging the drum on LinkedIn and Twitter and see if I can't find some folks who are in the accessibility community or in the testing community, who might design community, who might be interested in, you know, getting an Amazon card.
Right.
Especially while they're working from home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, that's perfect. I think the good thing about this particular process is that they don't need to be customers, right? Like they just need to be someone who is like, you just give them the task, and if they accomplish it, like for all purposes, that means that the research scenario is complete, right? Like there's nothing about this that tells you that they need to be a customer. Or you can correct me if I'm wrong, Lori, about that.
No, I mean, it depends on who you are looking to test this with? Like, who was our target person all along,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
That's who you should pull for this piece. So,
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I said it. So I think I might have people to test this with. So I'll try to recruit. Yeah, I'll try to bang the drum as well.
Yeah, I mean, ideally we want a developer. So and the
Yeah.
job that they're trying to do or the problem that they're trying to solve is that after they've made a change, that changes the front end of the site. And so we could even give them the merge request in that state. Like that's when they want to see accessibility, the update on accessibility based on their change. So I think like we don't need to walk through or talk through how do you even set up the job in the GitLab
Correct.
CI YAML. We can kind of make the assumption that you've moved beyond that, you've imported the template and it's just running. And then this is just in the context of your normal workflow. So ideally it's somebody who is somewhat familiar with GitLab anyway, or at least with the merge request and
Yeah.
potentially the pipeline page, so that they know where they would want to go look for this kind of stuff. Lori, is that how we've done, how other groups have done this? Of you want to find a GitLab customer, or are we just finding somebody off the street who knows CI/CD?
it's your target person. So if your target persons could be both, just pick one.
Okay.
It doesn't matter, because like this is so new. So there's not like a lot of stuff that somebody would be coming with it like from
Yeah.
like GitLab information or whatever. So to me, it doesn't matter if it's somebody who doesn't use GitLab or if it is somebody who uses GitLab, because we're trying to attract both of those kinds of customers to it. So
That's fair. Okay.
yeah, I say a mix, if you're looking for anything, but otherwise, yeah, if you just have everybody who's not a current GitLab user, that should be okay too.
Cool. Okay. That makes sense. All right. Anything else to follow up on for the accessibility scorecard?
I don't think so. I think that there's other stuff that's more about the process itself, but I don't think that. I mean, I already talked with Lori and with Nadia about this, and like this is still like an experimental process. So I think the only thing that it's left to say is that we should be mindful of all the process and try to find where it's not super optimal, so we can report that back and say like, we don't feel this works well. I mean, as part of our iteration process.
Thanks, Juan, for highlighting that again. Yeah, that's important.
I'm just adding to the jobs to be done issue, or the accessibility category testing issue, a link to the opportunity canvas, so that we can reference it from the issue. It's a little bit easier to get to then. And then anything else from last week that we wanted to go back over, or things that were due back this week? We talked visual review screenshots, and we talked accessibility widget. Somebody was raising some questions. I think I answered those back in the design issue. And we talked maturity scorecards, which we've already covered.
Yeah. MR widgets, there's another meeting that I just set up. I was trying to put it for next week, but next week there's people that are gonna be off. So yeah, I invited Nadia to this one and like other folks. I think that the main thing about this one is that I want to accomplish with this one is like, first of all, I'm block secure on whatever they're trying to do. And then we should also try to come to that meeting with our plans for the widget. So I have a note here for me to actually basically articulate somehow the things that we want to do with the MR widgets in the context of testing. So I know we have talked about like a handful of things, like change the language, maybe improving like some inconsistencies. So I have those here. I was wondering if we have an issue. I was wondering if we should create like separate issues for all these, because the one that we have is just like very generic. What do you think, James? Because I'm working on this actually.
Yeah, I think we'll end up creating smaller issues. Before we do that, because then we get into solutioning. I think we want to just nail down what is the ideal outcome from this level of work or from this body of work, and then we can create issues to accomplish that.
Okay. No, that's perfect.
Otherwise, we end up with a whole bunch of solutions to things, but we haven't identified the main problem, and we might spend more time on it than we need to, or not enough time. So.
All right. So I'll try to. Yeah. So I'm not gonna spin off any new issues. I have some designs that I did. I haven't shared those yet, but I'm gonna share those into the issue, and then we can go to that meeting and say like, hey, here's what we're thinking for the. Right now from the testing area, what we want to do with the MR widgets, then we will let Secure has some ideas that I don't know if they're gonna work, but I think the whole point of this meeting is just to go there and like realign, resync, and then since I have been leading this meeting and like this sync up, I think the way that I'm thinking about it is let's get together just to make sure that everyone is aware what's the plan of the other people with the MR widget, so we can have that into account when we're working on our own MR widget initiative. So yeah, that's gonna be a fun meeting just because it's like cross stage. So yeah, I already added you guys. If you cannot make it, let me know and I can change that. All right, and then there was an extra one, which is I already started looking into that issue, James, the code quality, the sorting, the filter, and the searching, and I already suggested an order to tackle because you asked that. I don't know what you think about that order. That I think you said
search first.
I said search, filter, and sort.
Okay. The other thing that I think we could consider is once.
Oh no, sort and filter. Sorry, search, sort, and filter. Yeah. I left filter at the end so we can like maybe search solves everything. You know.
Yeah, it might. Plus, there's a bunch of different sorts that we could do, like sort by file, sort by.
Yeah.
I'm completely drawing a blank. I haven't had enough coffee yet. Other things. The other thing that we might want to add is a toggle for just show me the files that I changed.
Yeah, okay.
That might be an interesting one as well, because then it's outside of the context of what were the changes I've made. It's within the files I'm already modifying. Are there other improvements that I can fix while I'm in there?
Okay.
Is the use case, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like, oh, I already found a bunch of methods that are too long, or a bunch of code that repeats itself, or this repeats itself other places within this file. I might as well go and clean those up at the same time.
Yeah.
Those are the use cases I'm thinking of. I don't know if those are valid cases or not. So I think we should write up both of those issues, toggle for files I changed, and then just a generic search across all of the columns, and start to get some feedback from the community on those.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. One question. So you have that issue in 13.0. So what's the development target for this one, 13.1?
I mean, I'm thinking about this more as a solution validation.
Okay.
That we would do the design to support solution validation and gather some feedback. And then this goes into a larger epic of finishing off that code quality report.
Okay, no, that makes total sense then. I'll work on that, but I'm already thinking about it. I'm already have like a file to work on it anyway, cool. So I'll start sharing things. Although it's like it has a 13.0 milestone, I'm just gonna start putting things there.
Sounds good. I'm gonna create a to-do for me to create issues for toggle on files changed and search for full code quality report.
Cool.
There's another. I thought there was another. Oh, there's a small design issue that I wanted you to look at. It's assigned to me right now. That's the problem. I don't do design. Why is that assigned to me? Link to test reports from the MR widget. So from the MR widget, there's that unit test summary. I think we should link over to the reports tab on the pipeline page. From
Okay.
so that you can see
All
the
right.
full context, not just the test that changed.
Yeah, I can do like small mock for that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I beat up that issue though. Like, let's talk through that of adding discoverability for that new functionality from the merge request. It feels
No,
like so often I hear that people don't use merge requests.
that makes perfect sense because I always say that to everyone who is like, should we add this type of functionality that reveals a path through like NMR, for instance? I always say yes. There's not even a discussion, about that because like we hide a lot of stuff here in GitLab based on like roles and stuff, which is okay, right? But I think sometimes it's just like it doesn't allow people to see how powerful GitLab can be. So it doesn't like make the app so well of like, hey,
Yeah.
GitLab allows you to do all these things, So yeah, I'm all down for that.
I mean, it feels very similar to what is done with the security scan, where it links
Yeah.
to the full report, which I think it just links over to the pipeline page, and then that
It
tab
does.
active.
Yeah,
So
it does.
we would just
Yeah,
be mirroring that.
yeah, for sure.
Lori, you've probably been more exposed than any of us when it comes to like usability of GitLab and hiding of features, which we tend to do a little bit. And that's part of the nature of going broad and doing things quickly and not a like top-down holistic approach to all of the design necessarily. Does this feel like the right step to you? As far as
so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. It's a good step to do, and then we'll see where we're at after we do it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I will assign this over to you, Juan, so that it's not assigned to me, because I don't know why this is all assigned to me. I think I mentioned you and then forgot to assign you. My bad.
My to-dos are kind of crazy right now. I get so many to-dos that I'm like, who is talking to me right now? So it's better if it gets assigned to me.
Yeah.
So I can go to the issues tab. I'll look it there.
My to-dos have gotten a lot more sane once I turned off, or I started just trashing all the GitLab notifications in my email and relying only on to-dos.
Right. Well, so sometimes I don't know why, like my email is a little bit more reliable to find things that discussions that I need to be part of. I don't know why, like it's I don't know. I'm gonna say it because no one's gonna say it, but I think to-dos are broken. They are a bad functionality.
Yeah, I don't use them. I use my email. I rely on my email.
Yeah.
But I have my email split visually between unread and read. So if I read something, I'm like, oh, I need to go back to that. I'll just mark it unread, and then that's basically my list of things I need to go and do. So
that makes sense.
That helps.
Yeah, that definitely helps.
I'm an inbox zero kind of person, so I'm also a to-do zero kind of person, and then it goes onto my to-do list. All right. So I just assigned that issue over. Anything else on what's currently in design?
No, I think we're good.
Cool.
There's more stuff on design, but nothing that's relevant right now, I think.
We still have the accessibility testing validation in workflow design in the 1210 milestone. Can we close that out?
Totally. Yeah, I think that's already completed.
Can you, the issue is assigned to you. Can you put a comment on it and close it out then for us, please? Thank you.
I have been closing issues lately, so yeah, thanks I'll do that.
And then things currently in research. I had a couple more customer interviews this week, more informal, like set up through a TAM interviews and discussions, where we covered topics like code coverage and a top-down view of data coming out of the testing categories. So I'm collating or gathering all that up. I need to write down summaries of those interviews. I realized the notes I was linked to in my opportunity canvas are just the ongoing agendas that the TAMs have, or the CSMs have. So I need to parse that out and summarize it, and then I'll get the Canvas review for data, testing data, wrapped up and scheduled. And then after that, I don't know what's going to be next for us for research outside of the scorecard. I think that's what's up next for research for us.
Cool. And as you go through those, the interviews that you had with the TAMs and the customers, if you feel like anything's like a aha moment that other people might want to know about, you can make an insight into the UXR Insights repo and just say like it came from these notes and link it back to your write-ups that you're doing, because we're struggling getting the PMs to put with their activities, because it's not like a research act, we didn't have a
Yeah.
discussion guide, whatever, but it's good stuff. So I want to be able to have a way to grab it and stick it in the repo as well.
Okay.
So we went through that activity with doing the sticky notes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you'll do that on your own, most likely with your own notes. But when you get to that point of making like, oh, this is the meat of what I just learned about this thing, and here's another piece of meat and things like that. Those are those insights that would go into the repo. So
Gotcha. Okay.
happy to swing back through and help you with anything that you want to get help with, but I would love to have some of those things in the repo. I think it would be really, really valuable.
Yeah, I can do that. I'll carve out some time next week
Okay.
to get that all populated, both into notes that I can reference in the Canvas and then insights in the UX, or is there an actual insights project?
Yeah,
can't remember.
UXR _ insights, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do I just make the issue and then close the issue?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah, and if you want to, you can link back to that issue from like your initial, whatever you've been working off of, wherever that is, you can also link to that insights issue as well.
All right. I'm gonna assign some things to myself. All right.
Right, we have 1 minute left, so.
Oh, wow, that was quick.
Yeah, I think we're good.
I think so too.
All right, well, thanks everyone. I'm gonna upload the videos for sure. These ones and the ones that I have missed. So yeah, have a good weekend and wash your hands.
Yes.
Same. Good luck, y'all.
Bye.
All right, bye.